1 second later or 1,000 years later, you will die too. Your body ceases to function, turns into its constituent elements, and merges with the soils of the earth. Or to put it more plainly, you become a fossil. The earth also dies and one day plunges into the sun. The sun too completes its task, first transforming into a white dwarf, then ultimately fading into darkness and dying. The Milky Way galaxy collides with its neighbor, Andromeda, forming an elliptical galaxy. This galaxy eventually loses all its stars in the intergalactic space. The remnants of these stars gradually dim and turn into cold, dark components. The universe, in the continuation of its existence, faces two paths. Either all matter in the universe falls into black holes or disperses into infinite, drifting particle. Black holes also gradually disappear, marking the end of the universe at that moment. In other words, everything that exists does not become cold and dark forever. Of course, the scenario described above, known as the heat death, can be considered one of the more optimistic theories of the end of the universe because it gives us enough time to bid farewell to our loved ones. The reality is that the universe has a history far greater than that of humanity, and even after our extinction, it will persist for a long time. Contemplating the death of the universe can be a rather disheartening endeavor, but it's valuable to know because it shows how insignificant we are. Now, while we await our demise, we can examine the death of the universe from a physical perspective and enjoy it a bit. Katie Mack, a professor at the State University of North Carolina, who is currently working on a book about the end of the universe, says in this regard, based on what we know and see today, the heat death or Big Freeze can be considered the most probable end of the universe. The universe is expanding and continues on this course. As the cosmic components move further apart, the formation of stars from dispersed gas and dust occurs at a slower pace. According to Stephen Hawking's theory, the last black holes will empty out in about a Google years, which is 10 to the power of 100 years from now. After that, the remaining particles of the universe also disintegrate, and the entire universe on average reaches absolute zero temperature. In fact, the universe will become so vast and diffuse that finding anything in it will likely be a journey. Of course, none of these events will happen anytime soon. Despite humanity's strong inclination to destroy everything, the Earth's atmosphere is likely to remain intact for another billion years. The Sun too still has 7 to 10 billion years of work ahead, until it transforms into a red giant, shedding its outer layers and leaving behind its brilliant core. According to a physicist at the University of California, Riverside, this core is roughly the size of the Earth but has much greater mass, referred to as a white dwarf. A small red dwarf stars may last for 100 trillion years, and perhaps humans can settle on a planet near them. For example, Proxima Centauri, which has recently been found to have several exoplanets in its vicinity. These time scales are beyond human comprehension, and we can never imagine the current size of the universe. The physicist says about this, "It gives me a sense of hopelessness. We humans are future-oriented beings and always look at life as a story, so we expect a happy ending. Our brains only accept progress in exchange for making the story more interesting, and there is no other conceivable way. Some predictions like the Big Crunch or Big Rip may arrive sooner. You probably know that in 1998, scientists discovered that the universe is not only expanding, but the rate of expansion is increasing. They said dark energy in the empty space of the universe is accelerating this expansion. Perhaps around 100 billion years from now, the rate of expansion may increase to the extent that it annihilates galaxies, solar systems, planets, and atoms. However, there is also the possibility that the vacuum undergoes a change in nature. It's possible the dark energy isn't as constant and fundamental as we think, meaning the expansion of the universe gradually slows down. In this case, everything would once again be drawn toward the center under the force of gravity. And as you might guess, we would face another problem called the Big Crunch, where the universe collapses in on itself. We still have much to learn about the nature of the universe, so none of the above theories are 100% certain. Every new discovery about dark energy, Higgs bosons, or space-time could completely alter our predictions about the end of the universe. Whether everything ultimately reaches absolute and infinite emptiness, the universe shatters into pieces, new universes arise from the ashes of the old, or an entirely different fate awaits us. The existence of humanity and our legacy, along with everything that has been and will be, will one day come to an end. We conclude the video with a quote from K.D. Mack. Even though we know we all die someday, the idea that the world will someday end and nothing will be left is still distressing. Thank you for being with us so far. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are interested about information, wonders on our contents, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be aware of daily content.